how did Allah create the world? He said, be.
Hmm.
He created it with a word, be. He wasn't taking this lump of this or this lump of that. He said a word. What are words? What are words? Words are things of mind.
Hmm.
Be is a word. Think about that. Allah started the dunya with a word. The first thing he created is a pen. To me, I understand it as symbolizing determinism, which we could talk about it maybe also as well if you wish. But a pen. This is activity of the mind. Allah said be. There are three possibilities. Either the whole world is just atoms in the void. Okay, now the void, we can debate exactly what that means. Some scientists, when they say void, they don't actually mean emptiness. They mean like this. That's another topic for another day. Let's not get on a tangent. Yeah. There's either just chemistry and physics, material stuff, or there's only idea, or there's a dualism, the two. There's part physics and part idea. Now, me, I like what Ibn Arabi says. He says, look, I'm not going to try to figure that out. I'm just going to say there's seen and unseen. There's the observed world, and then there's this inner world of the mind. I'm not going to say if it's actually physical, because the thing is, physical, the word physical or materialism is another God. It's another false God. So for instance, you see this pen and you see this coffee cup. What do they have in common? Well, your mind's going to tell you, look, connect the two. They're made of this stuff. And this cell phone, and every object is made of this stuff. And we're going to call it materialism, material. That's another ghost. You just invented that. That's just another concept. It's another metaphor. It's not out there in the world. It's, again, another ghost in the mind. When we say kill all the idols, we're talking about the idols in the world and the ones in the mind. And then you will have an experience. Because you just erected another God. Think about, do forests exist? Forest is just a word for a number of trees that I can't count. Forest is a universal. Forest just means, hey, there's a bunch of trees out there. I don't know the exact number. There's not something forest I can grab and put in my hand. No, it's just an expression, but we take them as literal things out there. That's why the Quranists keep telling you, do you think these things can harm you or benefit you? You're projecting them onto the world. They're innate.
I like that. Sorry, yeah. One of the examples you give before is about the laws of nature, the laws of physics, the laws of nature, and you say, well, these don't actually exist. They're not actual laws. These are placeholders. I think
they're inferred.
They're inferred.
I would say I like to refer to them as bookmarks. We bookmark a certain pattern as irregularity, and we bookmark that. Look, that happened in the past many times, and now we're bookmarking it.
Yes.
And when we see it again in the future, we're going to refer to it via that bookmark. Okay. We're marking it. We're giving it a name. We're inferring there's a law that's doing that. The truth of the matter is gravity, randomness, every force, it's never been observed. You're observing a pattern.
Yeah. And
then you're labeling that pattern. And then you dream up a God that's behind that pattern. So let me give you a for instance. Okay. Let me give you a for instance. Imagine I take a book and when you fan through the pages, you see a cartoon. I draw a cartoon. I draw a pitcher throwing a pitch. On each page, he's going through the sequence. And then when I flip, when you flip through the book, you see like a cartoon in action. You know how cartoons work, right? They draw one picture, then they draw another picture, and they swipe the picture so fast that you think there's actual motion. Now imagine I put you in a library and there's billions of books. And you flip through the pages and you're watching a cartoon over and over again. You're watching cartoons and you're studying these cartoons. And you're like, hey, the guy who wrote all these books, he's following certain patterns. He never breaks these patterns. And here, when somebody throws something, it falls down to the earth. You discover gravity. You discover this pattern called gravity. But to you, it's just one image after another. It's just a cartoon. There's no actual law out there in the book. No. You're just saying, look, this designer, this author, this artist, he has this signature in his designs. Every book, I've read all his books. I've studied them closely. If you give me a new edition of his book, I can tell you, look, exactly what he's going to do in this book. I know that this, as the story goes, he won't break these laws. He's never has in the past. This is what Allah tells you in the Quran. I never change my rules, my patterns. It says in the Quran, Allah's telling you these are patterns and I never change them. But you took them as some other God is doing them, some other deity out there, some other thing that you never observed. You projected it. So if imagine you're in this library and you're studying this author's work and you're seeing these patterns over and over again, you would discover every pattern, every law of physics. It's all written in the book, but you would never take it literally.
Yeah.
You would never take it literally. You'd be like, no, that's just the way he designs things. That's how the Muslim sees the dunya.
Yeah.
Yes, there are these laws, but these laws are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah controls these laws. Allah makes them, creates them as such. There's not some alien force